Yeah, hi all. As part of group 161, we have implemented chat application, social media application. It basically follows the data pipeline wherein producer produces the messages and Kafka topic through Kafka topic. Spark streaming streams the messages and stores into the Cassandra table. So from Cassandra table, consumer retrieves the data and stores into a CSV file. So from the CSV file, as the second part of the assignment, we will do the we'll read that CSV and do the analytics part. So if you see, this is the basic. These are the basic commands wherein we are creating a vocabulary key space. With vocabulary key space, we are creating a word table with primary key as a word and count as a number. So this is the command for executing that particular chat application, and this is the where we can. This is the command where we can produce the messages into topics. So if you see, this application works in two ways. One is in producer produces the messages and consumer consumes the messages parallelly, whereas Spark streaming store the messages into Cassandra table, as well as from the Cassandra table, consumer retrieves the messages and does the upload it into CSV. Cassandra client retrieves the messages and stores into CSV, and wherein there the analytics can be performed further. So if you see, there are two chart applications implemented with the help of Spark and Cassandra, Kafka, and another chart application implemented with Kafka and Java. So Spring plays a major role in this. So this is Spark Stream Consumer is the application wherein if you see, we are configuring the Spark configuration at localhost, and the set of properties have been configured here. Then followed by consumer record input stream, and this is the where we are pairing the data. So after pairing the data, we are writing it to Cassandra. Once the application started and stored into Cassandra table with the save application, the save functionality saved to Cassandra, it will be stored into the database. Then followed by the retrieval mechanism, the count of the words will be retrieved here. So this is a straightforward application wherein we have the Cassandra connector, which allows us to connect to the database, whereas we have a Cassandra client, which allows us to retrieve the messages and view to the user, show to the user. So on top of it, we have Kafka producer config, does the producer configuration. Kafka application basically does the this is another main class which does the implementation for us, whereas producer produces the messages, consumer listener listens to the messages. So we have a topic name, multiple topics. Here we configure long message, partition, filtered, greeting. There are multiple topics we configured, so that those topics sends the messages and it retrieves the messages, listener listens to messages from those topics. So it's a parallel application. So one this is parallelly producer produces the messages, and this consumers listens to the topics, listens to those messages parallelly. So the other way is it stores the application into Cassandra, words into Cassandra, and retrieves the data from Cassandra using Cassandra client. So these are two ways we are implementing this Spark and Kafka and with Spring and Java. There is another application. I'll just explore you that also. There is another application, Kafka with Java, we have implemented, which is a chart controller. Does the mapping for us, web mapping for us, whereas listener config listens to the messages whereas message listener related configurations does here. Message listener listens to the messages in this topic, whereas producer configuration does the required producer configuration with the enough required parameters. WebSocket config does the endpoint where we need to listen, and Kafka Java application is the application which runs the application for us. So this is another Kafka chart implementation. Does the Kafka to Kafka producer to consumer. So the whole application is implemented in such a way that Kafka chart does the Kafka producer consumer producer produces the messages, consumer consumes the messages. This is one way of implementation. Whereas Spark and Kafka Cassandra implementation works in two ways. Producer produces the messages, consumer consumes the messages. Whereas Cassandra client retrieves the messages and shows to the user. And these messages can be further stored into a CSV file. So with the help of Tableau or some analytics tool, we can retrieve those messages. We can do the analytics for that particular application. Those CSV contains the data. How many words are produced from the producer? How many users have retrieved those messages? So how many people are receiving the messages, how many messages are in the queue, such information we can, messages counts reaching to the producer consumer between, we can store into a CSV, and those CSV can be analyzed further with the help of a Tableau or some analytics tool. So whereas the analysis can be done. So this is the client related to retrieve the messages, retrieve the information. So we are restricted this to this one as the assignment is restricted for the retrieval part. The analytics part, Tableau is not explored. So Tableau is not included in this. So basically we implemented the chart application with the endpoint point to point as well as point to the database and database to the user as an analytics. Yeah. So this is how we implemented. So these two applications I'm uploading in as part of assignment. As well, this video and Word document I'll upload, Word or PDF I'll upload having the required commands to execute. Thank you so much.